me also begin by extending heartfelt thanks on behalf of all of the family to so many of you who have worked so hard to keep both my father's memory and his message alive, especially early on when we were simply too devastated to do so ourselves. Perhaps the only thing that has made the loss bearable is seeing our own fond memories of our father shared and validated by so many of you, and seeing his work being carried forward. I believe my brother and I have a far more daunting task in trying to be the kind of inspiring parent he was to our own young children. I also know that he would be especially pleased to be remembered in Chennai. His formative years and all of his experience in corporate India was in this city. As we got married, he insisted we make a trip back. We first had to go to Tirupati with our spouses as a significant marking of this new stage in our lives. And I know his experiences here fed his great affection for India and his faith in what India could do. And this sentiment was something that never left him. Even in his final days, he told us that he wanted a share of his ashes to be immersed here in Chennai, which we did. And I believe that all of his work on innovation shows the same equal respect for the head and the heart. I know his own intellectual journey and immigrant experience gave him the confidence that change was possible, but also the deep understanding that it can be painful. So he never lost his empathy for those who were struggling. He began each day with a word of thanks for his good fortune and the opportunity to give back. And all of his seminal works were inspired by a single, very simple question. Who would be better off because of this work? Whose life could change if we knew the answer? And he focused, therefore, his ideas with the greatest potential impact. As people remember him, though, I hope we remember not just his ideas, but the spirit and inspiration behind all of them. My father never started out with his dreams for India based on what was possible in anyone else's view, what it would take for minimum nutrition or minimum growth. He always asked himself what it would take for every Indian to enjoy the same things he wanted for his own family. Opportunity, the chance for a good living, the chance to leave something back and better for the future generations. And his love and deep pride in India was what fed all of his concepts. Of course, the culmination of his dreams for India also involved his own set of deeply held convictions that conforming to our ethical code would never constrain growth, but rather enable it. And that is the basis with which he went forward with all his ideas. And yet, despite all this, he was so deeply collaborative. He shared his ideas freely, and he also asked people for their own. And I think the Dream for India at 75 truly reflects this spirit of collaboration. So it is gratifying that so many of you who know him and his work clearly saw this side of him, his optimism, his generosity, his genuine desire to help, and his deep respect and love for India, the country of his birth, and the US, his adopted country. All of us feel that the best tribute to his legacy would be trying to move beyond trying to establish whether business can do well and do good. Of course it can. If individuals struggle and do so every day, we can expect no less of our organizations. The more important question we need to answer is how well are we doing good, and continue the debate about how business can strengthen society. I am deeply hopeful because this moment I know came about in much the same way the Vision for India at 75 did. It has come to fruition because of the dedication, patience, and collaboration of so many of you. We looked at the first version, my mother and I, of the statue almost 18 months ago, and through patience, through so many people contributing their memories, their vision, their fond remembrances, we worked out the details, we got it right, and we finally ended up with something that represents all of us and his spirit as well. And so it will be with carrying on his work. We must begin with remembering what we love about India and take pride in. We must work together and hear each other out. We must go forward with optimism and faith in one another. We could not be more proud and grateful that my father's example has inspired so many, and we look forward to joining you on this journey.